if you have any questions. What is happening, everybody? YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. What's going on, guys? We're going to be talking about how to scale your Amazon FBA business to $10,000 a month in sales, hopefully with profit margins between 30 to 40%. That's where my margins kind of play out. And I want to do a live Q&A. So just to give a little bit of a background and to kind of discuss what we're going to be talking about. We are live right now. We're live on all the platforms. This isn't pre-recorded. I've been a reseller for almost 9 years or so. I started flipping bikes on Craigslist, moved on to eBay. I was doing $6 to $8 grand a month on eBay. I've done a lot of different things. Now, over the last 6 or 7 years, I've really pushed hard towards Amazon FBA. And my sales right now are sitting around $22,000 in sales. My profit margins around, I say between 30 and 40%. It's really hard to nail down exactly what it is right now. But I'm profiting probably around a little over $8,000 a month, maybe $7,000 to $8,000 after I pay my virtual assistants. And I'm mostly sourcing from eBay to Amazon. So I pick a lot of items off of eBay and I flip them on Amazon. I go to thrift stores, I go to flea markets, auctions, all different types of places. I help my mom to retire doing this. It's not an easy business, but it is simple. Really, all we're doing is we're buying low and we're selling high. And again, my monthly sales is at $22,000. My goal is to hit $40,000 in sales with hopefully a 30 to a 40% profit margin at the end of the day based on my model. And today I just want to talk about how to scale your business to $10,000 a month or more. I want to discuss some strategies for how to find inventory, what types of inventory to go after, and really just answer all the questions that you guys have. So let's just dive into the questions because I see a bunch of them coming in right now. Jerbius 1411 says, when you started buying books, did you FBM or FBA? Seems like there's so much more profit with FBM when selling books. So it's actually a lot more profitable for me personally to sell FBA, okay, fulfilled by Amazon. Now, what FBM stands for is fulfilled by merchant. It's essentially being an eBay seller in a sense. You pick all your items, you store them at your house, you ship them out. The fees are a little bit less when you're a merchant, but you get so much more money selling as an FBA seller. And I find that things sell a lot faster. Plus, you've got to value your time as well. Who here not only wants to make a lot of money, but you also want to have time to be able to go out for a bike ride, hang out with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, travel, spend time with your kids. Who wants to be locked up all day, like packing orders, shipping items and stuff? So the value is so much higher in FBA versus FBM just for the freedom factor. And I could talk a little bit more about that. And if you're going to scale to $10,000 a month in sales, right now, again, I'm at 22. The goal is to hit $40,000 by the end of the year with hopefully a 30 to 40% profit margin. I don't want to have to be storing all my items. I don't want to have to be picking all my items. I don't want to have to be packing all my items. I don't want to have to be shipping all my items. So when you sell as an FBA seller, you're getting that prime bump. You're getting that prime eligibility. People get items shipped to them within 2 days, and you end up making more money, even though there are some storage fees, which is low. Even though there are shipping fees to Amazon, which is dirt cheap, it's like 30 to 50 cents to ship an item. Things just sell faster. You save so much more time. So that's why I really enjoy doing FBA over FBM. I'm not an expert with FBM. There are opportunities, especially during Q4 or dealing with hazmat items or really large items that you don't want to send to the fulfillment center to FBM. And I have friends of mine who actually, they'll go into a store, they'll buy 20 of a board game or something. They'll list it on Amazon, and during Q4, before they even leave the store, they're all sold, which is absolutely crazy. We have someone asking, what's the best way to get started? So that's a great question because you're never going to get to 10,000 a month or beyond without getting started. I would recommend A, just signing up for an Amazon Seller Central account, and then B, I have a free workshop. So if you go to my website, rakeandprofit.com/workshop, I literally have a free 5-hour workshop, and I had one of my students come to my house and I walked him through the whole process, how to sign up for an account, how to scan with all the apps, how to list, how to ship. And it's not like a workshop that's like trying to upsell you on like a $5,000 program. Literally, it's a free workshop, 100% free. You can learn everything. I share all my tools, all my supplies. So go check that out, guys, if you're brand new. And I've been getting a lot of DMs on Instagram lately and people sending me messages asking like, how do I get started? Like, just go check out the workshop. It's literally rakeandprofit.com/workshop. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I'll put that link in the comments for you guys to check out. So if you guys have questions, ask away. If you see me looking left and right, it's because I'm looking at TikTok, I'm looking at YouTube, I'm looking at Instagram. Oh, we got a great question here coming from Devin. So this is a great question because if you want to scale to $10,000 a month in sales, let's just say you have an average selling price of $40. That's only selling 250 items a month. And considering, let's just say you have, I don't know, a 30% sell-through rate per month, you only really have to get 750 to 800 items in your inventory. Right now, I'm at 22,000 in sales, and I have a little over 1,400 active, like actually live. I should have close to 2,000 going live in the next couple of weeks. I've got a ton of shipments that are still getting checked in and whatnot. But, you know, if you just sell 250 items a month, that could get you to $10,000 in sales. And you really have to build your inventory up to probably around 700 to 800 items if you have a $40 average selling price, which is what mine is. I have friends of mine, my good friend Seth with Checkmate Flips. He has an average selling price of like $90. So don't think $40 is something special because you're trained to think, oh, I can only find items that sell for 15 or 20 bucks at thrift stores. That's why I love online arbitrage. And that's really why I've been pushing towards it, because you can really start to target your items. But Devin's asking, how do you get ungated for new sellers? And this is a great question, because if you want to go after items that have a higher selling price, average selling price, not as much competition, or maybe you want to sell items like DVDs or Fisher Price, or I don't know, maybe just a random brand like Logitech or something like that. I don't know if you get ungated with Logitech. You're going to have to buy 10 of an item from a wholesaler. So if you want to get ungated with DVDs, Alliance Entertainment, Frontier, there's also a website called Ingram. Just go. You're going to have to get your reseller certificate, sign up for that wholesale website for that account, buy 10 of an item, and then submit the invoice they give you to Amazon, and you'll be ungated. So it's really, really easy. And you can even get ungated with certain items, buying from Amazon and giving them the invoice and getting ungated. I've never done that, but I've heard a lot of people have done that. Like if you want to get ungated with Lego, how do you sell Lego? Go to the Lego website, buy 10 of the 10 Lego, take the invoice, submit it to Amazon, and boom, you're in business. So it's really not that complicated. Mary Adams says, I'm in the process of watching the workshop. It's great information. Guys, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not trying to act like I'm so special or anything, because I'm not. But if you go on the internet, everyone's always trying to give you like free stuff. And I've done it before too, because I have courses and whatnot. They try to give you free stuff to sell you on like a webinar or a coaching program. There's nothing wrong with that. But my workshop is 5 hours free, literally 100% free. So rakeandprofit.com/workshop, 5 hours. It's 5 days. There's replays, everything. So just go check that out. You'll thank me later. Cody says, hey, caught you again on live. Any way to start online sourcing for Amazon FBA books? So there's a really good software that I use. I don't have a special link for you, but you could check it out. eFlip is a really good website that my buddy created. I have a lot of different special techniques that I use that I'm not going to reveal live right now. But I'll tell you, one of the things I do is I go to the eBay sold listings and I look up, you know, the books that are selling between like $50 to $70 sold. And then what I do is make a huge list of them, and then I try to reverse source them. But don't look at the ones that have sold within like the last month. Like I go back like 2 or 3 months and create a whole list of like books, DVDs, all different types of items that have sold within a really high range. And then I just essentially reverse source them. There are softwares that you can use as well, like eFlip. I don't know if Tactical Arbitrage can help you with that, but yeah, I spent thousands of dollars sourcing books off of eFlip. I just haven't used eFlip a ton for books lately, and I've kind of shied away from doing OA with books just because so many are restricted now, like the popular textbooks. So if you have an ungated popular textbook account, then you'll definitely be golden, but hopefully that'll help you right there. JD says, is it much harder to get started on Amazon FBA now because of all the new loopholes on Amazon versus people that are grandfathered in from past years? It's really not that much harder, guys, to get started on Amazon. I would say the biggest challenge now is when you set up your account, you're going to get a postcard in the mail, and you sometimes have to wait a week or two in order to get that postcard, put in the verification code, get your account set up. But yeah, I mean, the biggest challenge is you are going to be gated in a lot of categories, but I already explained how to get ungated. Go to Frontier. What is it called? CC Frontier? What is it? I've never used their website. It's something Frontier. That's what a lot of people use to get ungated. Also, Lego.com to get ungated for Lego. Ingram is a great wholesale website. Alliance Entertainment is another great wholesale website. Again, you're going to need to get a reseller certificate. Just Google, how do I get a reseller certificate in Connecticut? How do I get a reseller certificate in freaking Nebraska? Whatever, because it's different per state. So once you get your reseller certificate, you give the wholesale company that, and then you order 10 of an item for whatever brand or category you want to get ungated in. There's brand restrictions and category restrictions. Submit that. And I mean, outside of that, I mean, it's still pretty similar. I would say thrift stores are a lot harder nowadays, guys. Like if you're going out to thrift stores to try to source and you're like, why am I not finding as many books? Like, why is it not as like, why is it not as profitable? Like, why is there so much competition? Like people have definitely caught on to flipping from thrift stores and stuff. There's still a ton of money to be made, guys, like tons of money to be made, but it's a lot more competitive. So you really have to think outside the box. That's why I'm doing the eBay to Amazon flips. I purchased off of Pallet IQ. I have a couple different secret strategies. Again, I can't share everything to you guys publicly, but I hate to say it like this, but you've got to go out there and experiment with different strategies, from library sales to building relationships with other resellers, relationships with people who own real estate companies, clean out companies. This isn't a business anymore where you can just walk into a thrift store and make a full-time income as easy as it used to be. I'm sure there's some honey holes out there in the country, but that's kind of how it goes. We got NFT Drop saying, sir, do you piggyback then send to FBA using their ASIN? So yeah, that's a great question. The biggest difference between selling on eBay versus Amazon FBA is on eBay, you create the listing from scratch and you're selling your product under an individual entity. You're creating the pictures, the listing, the description. It's like its own entity. Whereas when you're selling on Amazon FBA, essentially what you're doing is you're piggybacking on an ASIN. You're piggybacking on a listing. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to sell American Grace book. I don't have to go and create a new listing. I don't have to go and take pictures. I don't have to go and write the descriptions for the listing and create the whole entity, as I'm calling it, in this situation. Essentially, you're just piggybacking your listing underneath that listing, and you're becoming one of the sellers on the listing. Okay, so that's really, important to keep in mind, because when you're selling on Amazon, one of the best parts of it is you don't have to spend so much time having to create all the pictures and the descriptions and the search engine optimization and the titles and all that stuff. Like, who here thinks that's super annoying? Like, I do. It's like eBay's so outdated. I wish they just improved their system. But again, on eBay, there's so many one-off items and weird little things that you can sell. Like on eBay, you could sell any and everything that you want. On Amazon, there's a lot more rules and stuff. All right, let me go over to TikTok and answer some questions over here. What would you do differently if you were starting today? So that's a really great question. So I think the biggest thing that I would do differently, and I mentioned it before, is I wouldn't get caught up on just one or two sourcing strategies. For years and years, I got so caught up literally sourcing only from thrift stores and only from garage sales. I wish I would have learned more about flipping from eBay to Amazon. I wish I would have learned more about online arbitrage and retail arbitrage. I think the biggest thing I really wish I would have learned is the power of networking and building relationships. Literally, one connection with a cleanout company, as in the example of about a year and a half ago, I shared it. We ended up getting like over 5,000 books. We made thousands of dollars literally from one free book pickup. And that was powerful, right? I have relationships with different resellers. I actually have a connection with a specific cleanout company, a different one, who, if anyone's in Connecticut, by the way, I'm hosting a free Connecticut thrifting meetup. And we have a group of guys and gals who are all meeting up. It's a free event. And we're going to do a private pick from a cleanout company on August 16th. So go to Facebook and type in Connecticut Thrifting Meetup Group. You could join that. It's 100% free. We got people coming to Connecticut from Ohio, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and we're going to hit a whole bunch of thrift stores all day long together. And I've arranged a private pick with one of my connections. So I'm giving it away because I know some of you guys are going to build a relationship with him, and that's fine because there's so many opportunities. But I wish I really would have thought outside the box instead of just getting stuck, sourcing from thrift stores. So everyone always asks, what scanner do I use? What scanner do I use? I use the Natamu Bluetooth scanner. This is about $50. If you go to rakeandprofit.com/scanner, rakeandprofit.com/scanner, it's about $50. People ask all the time, do you need a scanner? You don't need a scanner. Is it going to help you to make a lot more money? Yes. Is it going to help you to save a lot more time? Absolutely. And the whole reason that we use this is because when you're dealing with books, most books are not profitable. What do you mean most books aren't profitable? Most books are trash in terms of like having resale value. You got to really find books that sell for $15 plus on average. Some of them $10 or more if they're really small and light. But the purpose of this is to scan through books much faster. So I use an app called Scout IQ, which links up to my phone. I'll put in headphones if I'm like really going serious, and I'll just scan through 500 to 1,000 books per hour. Whereas if you're just using the Amazon Seller app and you're scanning books with the camera on your phone, you're going to probably scan like a couple hundred per hour. So really the key to scaling this business is to be able to scale your source, to be able to find more profitable items that have a good sell-through rate. You can find all the profitable items in the world, but if they don't sell, then is it really profitable? Finding quality items at scale that turn quickly. I like my items to flip really within 30 to 90 days. I mean, right now I'm really even shooting to find items that flip and turn over before 60 days on average. If it takes longer to turn, I want a higher ROI on that item. I want more profit because of the risk and just because I'm holding up my cash. So this really helps you to really wade through all the junk. And again, if you're doing eBay to Amazon flips and you're buying from eBay and flipping on Amazon, you don't need this because pretty much the method that I use to do that, which again, guys, like most of all the items I'm sourcing now are from eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Mercari, and I'm flipping on Amazon FBA. So I want to be 100% clear about that. Again, like I said, what was the biggest mistake I made previously? Only relying on thrift stores. So in order to flip on eBay and Amazon, you're going to need capital or access to credit. That's definitely a big thing. And if you guys want to learn more about how I'm finding items on eBay and Facebook and flipping it, definitely let me know. And if you're following me on Instagram, the best way to learn more and whatnot is follow me on Instagram if you're not already at Rake and Profit. I'm putting a lot of content over there. And I am going to be releasing, I've kind of hinted at this and I'll share it with you guys. I'm going to be releasing a coaching program. It's only going to be for 10 people. It's only going to be for people who already have an Amazon account, who are already selling, who understand the basics, who are already selling at least a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s a month on Amazon. So it's not going to be for brand new beginners because it's going to be more of an intermediate advanced program. But we're going to take on 10 people. It's probably going to be somewhere between like $800 to $1,000. It's going to be a month. Me and my partner, Seth, he's doing 50,000 a month. I'm a little over 20. We're going to take 10 people and literally hold their hand for a month straight and teach them everything. A lot of this stuff that I can't put out publicly. We're going to have people sign an NDA to make sure they're not going out and blabbering it to everybody. So if you're interested in that, send me a DM on Instagram and just title it eBay to Amazon. And we can have a conversation. If you're a good fit, I'll give you more information. If not, definitely check out my free workshop. But let me know if you guys are interested more in the eBay to Amazon stuff, and I can definitely break down some more information. So I'm using Amazon Seller app and Scout IQ. Where should I learn the basics for you? YouTube, 100% free. My workshop, rakeandprofit.com/workshop is the best way to get started for free. Honestly, I wouldn't buy any courses. I wouldn't spend any money. Like if you're brand new and you've never sold on Amazon, don't join. Like you don't need to join any coaching programs or courses. Like unless you have a lot more money than time, then join one. But you can learn for free on Amazon Seller Central, tons of the basics on Amazon. You can go to my YouTube channel, you go to the workshop, tons of free information. If you want to cut through all the fat and whatnot, I do have a course on selling books. But again, if you're brand new, I wouldn't even recommend getting that or investing in any like programs unless like you're already like a six-figure earner, you have a business, you don't have a lot of time. But you can learn so much of the basic beginner stuff for free online. There's really no need to spend money on the beginner stuff. Yeah, Checkmate Flips, guys. Give him a follow. Really, really good point. Making a database of profitable items is one of the most underrated online arbitrage methods. This is so true. And it's almost like when you're running an online arbitrage business, maybe you're doing eBay to Amazon flips, or maybe you're sourcing off of Nike or Lego or whatever your source is, your supplier, right? Mine is eBay and Facebook Marketplace for the most part. The more you sell, the more data you have, right? So, for example, let's just say I'm selling, again, the American Grace book. I'm looking at it next to me. If I sell that all the time for $30, how confident am I going to be to buy that for 14 or 15 on eBay? I'm going to be very confident because I have data that is telling me I can sell this, right? And if you understand how to use Keepa charts and read the buy box, price history, the more data you have, the better you're going to be. And again, creating a database of profitable items is huge. I scan the eBay sold listings all the time. I have a team of virtual assistants who is always sourcing new leads and creating an archive of new leads of items that we want to be on a lookout for, that we're using software and manually sourcing. So again, yeah, create a huge list of items. And here's another great tip for eBay to Amazon flips. Let's just say you flip a DVD or something on Amazon that you purchased from a thrift store for $3 and you sold it for $70. Go try to source that thing for $30 on eBay. Now you're probably thinking, well, I don't want to pay $30 for a DVD. And if you don't have a lot of capital, then that's probably not the best option for you. But if you do have access to capital and credit, why would you not spend $30 on a DVD and flip it for $75 and make $25 profit? That's like a 90% ROI on your money, instead of having to go out and hunt for that DVD at thrift stores, which you're probably never going to find because there's tens of thousands of different titles of DVDs out there. So thrift stores are great because you can buy these items dirt cheap. But if you're looking to scale, you know, having that huge list, that archive, that database of items to go on a lookout for and be on the lookout for is really, really big. Hey, RRM801. Love you too, man. What apps are you using for scanning or sourcing, or what are you asking? What advice would you give to a teen for starting to resell books on Amazon? So if you're a teen and you're brand new to selling on Amazon and sourcing books, I would just start slow. I mentioned this in a previous video. Don't be focused on trying to find all the jackpots and making all this money. Like, learn the skill of how to sell on Amazon. Again, we're all mesmerized by making thousands and thousands of dollars. And you got all these people on Facebook and YouTube and all these advertisements showing big numbers and selling courses and programs and all this stuff. But what a lot of people don't tell you about is cash flow. What a lot of people don't talk about is net profit. You know, and even myself, I boast all the time. Oh, I did $22,000 in sales, and that's great. But my net profit's only around $7,000 to $8,000. And in terms of cash flow, I'm taking very little money home at the end of the day right now because I'm investing so much in my business, because I'm trying to hit the goal of $40,000 a month in sales. And then at that point, once I scale there, I'm going to slow down my spending and hopefully be able to take $10K a month profit home. So there's a difference between net profit, cash flow, and, sales. So I would just start slow, right? Just learn how to source, learn how to list, learn how to ship. And if you can go to thrift stores, garage sales, auctions, stuff like that, flea markets, you'll find stuff dirt cheap. I don't know if I'd recommend doing like the eBay to Amazon flips when you're a teen, because it costs a lot more money and there's a lot more risk involved and you got to have a lot more business skills. So I would just start going to thrift stores, finding stuff, scanning, learning Scout IQ, learning how to use the Bluetooth scanning app, learning Reseller list or inventory lab, learning the basics of accounting and making sure that you're tracking your income and your expenses correctly. And I would just go from there and build on that foundation. The foundation's huge. I had a lady come up to me at one of the Connecticut thrifting meetups, good friend of mine. And she said, Steve, I'm in really big trouble. We're getting foreclosed on our house right now. And I'm here at this event because I got to pay my mortgage by the end of the month. And I want to learn how to sell books. And I felt terrible because this woman, she was so sweet. I mean, just a great woman. sweet, kind, and she was ambitious. She was willing to do whatever it was going to take to be able to pay off her mortgage and pay her bills, right? And not go into further debt or foreclosure. And unfortunately, if you need to make money that quickly and you have to pay your mortgage by the end of the month, books or selling on Amazon is not going to be a good fit. It takes a good 3 to 6 months to really get the ball rolling with Amazon. And again, you can have all the sales in the world, but in order to grow your business, you've got to consistently be investing into inventory, maybe virtual assistants if you want to scale to save time, into different tools and supplies and softwares. And there's a big difference between selling items versus actually taking money out of the business to pay yourself. Because when you're new, the more money you take out of your business to just spend on your bills and your lifestyle and whatever to pay yourself, the less gasoline you're able to put on the fire, the less, food you're able to feed your business to be able to grow your business. Kind of like a child. You got to feed it. You got to take care of it. You got to spend time with it. If you're taking money out of the business, you're not going to be able to grow it. One of the downsides to selling on Amazon, and a lot of people aren't going to tell you this, but I'll tell you it, is it's a very cash intensive business at scale. You've got to, you're always spending money on inventory. And a lot of times your profits are in your inventory. And really, in order to really enjoy the cash flow, you've got to build your business up large enough, or you've got to really reduce your spending and enjoy that cash flow. But if you don't keep spending money on building your business, then it'll slow down over time. So these are just different struggles and challenges that I deal with. And I'm still learning, there's a lot that goes into it. We got Cajun Ventures in the house. All right, guys, I'm going to answer some more questions on TikTok if there's any questions. So we got someone saying I'm at $200 a day, and man, it's been hard, FBA and FBM. So are you selling on FBA and on FBM, or are you focused on one or the other? And I'm curious, what's your biggest challenge? Let me know. And I would love to know right now, drop a comment, guys, for everybody who's selling on Amazon right now. Put a 1 in the comments, by the way, if you're selling on Amazon, and put a 2 if you're not selling on Amazon. I'd be curious, but I'd like to know, for everyone who is selling on Amazon right now, what's your biggest challenge? Like, what's really holding you back? And what I mean by challenge is like, what's stopping you from getting from 1,000 a month to 2,000 a month? What's holding you back from going from 5,000 to 10,000? Or maybe, I was talking to a guy the other day. He's doing, I think he was doing 70,000 a month on Amazon, and he was doing eBay to Amazon flips, maybe even more. He was flipping all types of crazy stuff, and he was trying to get to 6 figures a month. We all have different challenges. So I'm curious, what's your guys' biggest challenges right now? Oh, wow. So on YouTube, we got a lot of people. So I'm curious, Wholesale Queen, Devin, Detwiller, we got Sean Ingram, Tessa, Jarcody. Let me know, what are your biggest struggles? What's up? One of my biggest challenges is not getting a sale. So if your items aren't selling on Amazon, what I've noticed from a lot of my students and people that I teach is a lot of times if your items aren't selling, it's because you're buying items that just aren't selling often enough. Now, obvious, right? I'm Mr. Obvious on that. But how do you know if your items are going to sell? Like, how do you know if something's actually going to turn? There's a couple ways that you can be able to do that. Number one is making sure that you read the Keepa charts. Okay. Keepa is going to tell you a whole story about the buy box price, how many competitors are on the listing over time. It's going to share with you a story about, is Amazon coming on the listing? It's going to share with you a story of maybe you could get an IP complaint on this listing if the sellers drop from 10 to 1 overnight, especially if it's like a hot selling ASIN. It can tell you a story about, hey, maybe this item was selling for $20 over the last year, and then Amazon went out of stock and it went up to 60, but Amazon comes in and out of stock periodically. Now they're back in stock and your price is at 55 and they're down at 20. No wonder your item's not selling. So paying attention to Keepa charts is huge. Now, when you're on the go and you're scanning items, one of the big things to pay attention to is the rank, the sales rank, but not only the rank, but also the rank per category, because the rank's going to differ based on the category that you're selling. And to go a step further is taking a look at the e-score. I don't know if any of you guys are using Seller Amp at all, but that's another tool that I use. And actually I have a scanning app as well, which will tell you how many times that product is sold over the last 30 days. So that's really important as well, guys. Rank doesn't tell you the whole story. The price doesn't tell you the whole story. All because there's 20 FBA sellers at 77 doesn't tell you the whole story as well. So it's really taking a look at the whole picture. And I would say using Keepa charts to make buying decisions can help you out the most. But if your items aren't selling, you're making a mistake along the path at one point or another. What is the normal amount of money you should be getting when you first start off as a teenager? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. What do you mean by getting money? Like, you're going to have to rephrase that because I want to make sure I answer that accurately. But in terms of how much money you're making, I mean, that's all going to derive from how many items are in your inventory, how fast your inventory turns, and what's your average selling price. If you're buying a bunch of, items that are only selling for $4 or $5 and they're all slow sellers and you have 2,000 in inventory, you're not going to make squat. But if you have an inventory like mine, right, and I'm not saying my inventory is the best, but my inventory turns very quickly. I've sold over, I wish I had, all my phones are being used now for TikTok and Instagram. I was going to look up my sales, but I think I've had a little over 22,000 in sales. And I think I've sold over 560 items, something around there to date, right? Like since today from 30 days ago. So I have like 13 or 1,400 items that are actually live. So that's like probably like a 40% turnover rate, which is really, really good. So how much money should you be making? It all is going to depend. Like this is a numbers game, guys. Like it doesn't matter your past, doesn't matter how good looking you are. It doesn't matter nothing, right? Like, it's like, it doesn't matter how good you talk. It doesn't matter where you go sourcing. Like it all comes down to the numbers. Are you finding items that sell for a good average selling price? Are they turning quickly? And how much do you have in your inventory? Like right now at 22,000 in sales, if I want to get to 40,000 in sales with my specific numbers and metrics, I'm probably going to have probably 3,000 items in my inventory, maintain a 40% month over month turnover rate, and maintain a $40 average selling price. If I keep those metrics in line, I'm going to hit my goal. So how do I make sure that I'm going to hit my goal? Well, you could only manage what you measure. So every single week, I have a team of virtual assistants that measures all of these metrics for me. They're measuring my average selling price. So they're doing my numbers every single day, every single week. What's my average selling price? Because I want to make sure to keep that there. They're measuring my sales, right? By taking a look at my data and they put it into spreadsheets. And they're measuring, my turnover rate. So I also have like 10 or 15 other metrics that I measure, but you can't manage your business if you're not measuring the data, and you've got to have optics in your business. So I hate doing all the spreadsheets and stuff. So I have a team that helps me, that pulls all those numbers for me. And then every single Monday, I open up my computer, I go to the spreadsheet, and my team fills out all the metrics. And if I see, oh man, my average selling price is dropping, or I see, my turnover rate is dropping, like then I have to assess my team and what we're sourcing and make adjustments and see how you can improve. What was the app you said that shows what books sell better? Because I'm afraid of picking books that don't sell. So I would start with Amazon Seller app, especially if you're a teen. I can't see your picture, but it looks like you're younger. If you're a teen, which I'm assuming you are, I'd probably just start with the Amazon Seller app and download the Keepa Chrome extension. Once you start making money, invest in Scout IQ, but that's going to be like, I think 30 or 40 bucks a month. So if you're a teen, you probably aren't going to be able to afford that. So I would just start with Amazon Seller app. So what you're going to need to do is go to Amazon Seller Central, sign up for a free account. You're going to have to get a postcard in the mail to verify your address. And then once you do, you'll be able to start selling and scanning items. So hopefully that helps. Can you build a team across the country profitably? So yeah, I mean, you could build a virtual team all across the world. And the coaching program that my buddy Seth and I that are getting ready to launch, the sales page is getting ready to be created. And we're going to teach exactly how anybody can scale to $10,000 to $20,000 a month and take you by the hand for 1 month. That coaching program is going to really be centered around not only how to be able to build, a business that does 10 to 20K a month in sales and even more. Again, my goal is to get to 40. My partner's already over 50, but it's really going to focus on how to get a team to do that, how to build a virtual team. I mean, my virtual team right now, they source, they list. I still do my shipping. They do all my back end. They do all my pricing. They do all my repricing. They manage all my spreadsheets. They pay for all the items. I mean, they do so much in my business. So if you guys are interested in that, Seth and I are looking for 10 qualified people. You have to be qualified. You can't be brand new. You have to be selling on Amazon. You have to have capital. The program is going to probably be like $800 to $1,000, which is really cheap for 1 month. We're going to take you and show you pretty much everything that we don't teach publicly. And the goal of that is to get you results, but you are going to have to qualify. So if you're interested, send me a DM on Instagram and title it eBay to Amazon. But having a virtual team is so important. I use a website called onlinejobs.ph, and I love to hire people from the Philippines. Typically, my team, they're earning anywhere from 300 to 700 a month each to hire them. I think my overhead for my virtual assistant team, I have 3 like main ones, and then I have a couple like random ones. It's like less, maybe $1,000 a month, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, somewhere between like probably like $1,000 to $1,200 a month. And it saves me so much time, and it allows me to focus on my business to be able to scale. My 30 days is 22K, and my profit margins are somewhere between 30 to 40%. I'm still working out some of the details on my exact profit. All right, Instagram, I'm going to look over here and see if you guys got any comments. There's a lot of people joining in on Instagram. Great to see you guys. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask away. I'll be poking around. So we got a question from Lori Baker. What's up, Lori? What account do you use on eBay? I signed up for the second level. I just have like the basic one because I'm not selling a ton on eBay now. I'm mostly sourcing on eBay. It's really important as well, guys. If you're going to do eBay to Amazon flips, get tax exempt. Get tax exempt. It's so important. I don't pay sales tax on any of the items I purchase, which gives me a really big advantage over the competition. Checkmate Flip says, best way to get more consistent sales as a beginner is to list more profitable items. If you have 20 items listed, it's going to be staring at paint drying, looking for those sales. Exactly. It's like having like more than one fishing pole in the water when you're out on the boat, right? If you have 3 or 4 fishing rods in all different parts of the water, you have a better chance of catching a fish, right? But you got to make sure you have some really good bait on the line. You can't be throwing out a chicken Parmesan on the hook. I mean, well, maybe, I don't know, fish might like that, but it'll probably fall off your hook. You got to be fishing with the right stuff, the right bait. My analogies are just so intelligent. All right. In what capacity do you use the Dymo label printer, and is it needed to start? I actually don't even use it anymore. It's probably like stupid. Most people say you have to have a Dymo printer. You don't need a Dymo printer. I actually use a Brother laser printer, and I use the 30 up Avery labels or the generic labels to be able to print out my FNSKU labels, which are then placed over the barcode. I stopped using the Dymo printers, not because they weren't amazing, but they did a great job. But when they stopped working, they just were so annoying. Like they would jam, it would stop working with the software. And I was just sick and tired of literally every month, like once every 2 or 3 months, it would just stop working. And I'm spending 2 to 3 hours like trying to fix it. And it was just super duper annoying. I can't find anyone talking about SKUs. Do you want to know about like custom SKUs, or are you talking about like the FNSKU labels? Because I can talk about SKUs and how I use them. But you don't need a Dymo printer. Honestly, I have a Brother 2350 DW. I'm looking at it right now, and that'll print out the FNSKU labels and also the UPS labels go on the outside of the box. What up, Jose? Hey, thank you so much for the love, everybody on Instagram. Appreciate you. Lori says, do I need to buy from GS1, or where do you get them on Reseller list? The whole GS1 is like, that's like building out your own custom barcode. You don't need to do that. Literally, Amazon gives you the barcodes to print out. So if you go to Amazon and just type in 30 up labels. Those are the labels that you need if you're just printing off of like a inkjet or a label printer. And on Reseller, again, if you guys aren't a part of my workshop, I'm not trying to promote it. I mean, it's free, so I guess I'll promote it all I want. But if you go to rakeandprofit.com/workshop, I show you how to get labels, how to buy labels. I share with you all my supplies. I show you literally over my shoulder. It's the best video on YouTube, hands down. No one even comes close to it. How to do it firsthand. And I teach someone and show them every little step and walk you through Reseller. So thank me later. Again, I could probably turn that into a course, but I'm giving it to you guys for free because I really want to help you out. Just get it. rakeandprofit.com/workshop. I can't say it enough. You'll literally have no more questions for me after you go through that. We got Mushy the Hedgehog. Oh, I love that name. When you send something to Amazon, do you wait for them to sell the item in order to be able to get paid and make a profit? Yes, that's exactly how it works. So I'll explain the process. So let's just say I buy an item off of eBay. Maybe I spend $14 on a DVD. I list it on Amazon for $45. Okay. I choose the price, the condition. I label it over the barcode, which is known as an F and SKU. I choose the price, condition. I use Reseller. You can also use Inventory Lab, which is a third-party software, or you can list on Amazon. Put all my items in a box. I ship them to an Amazon fulfillment center. Amazon will tell me where to ship it. They'll give me the labels for everything. So there's nothing you have to purchase. There's no GS1s or anything special that you have to do. You ship it to the Amazon warehouse. It checks in over a couple day to a couple week period, depending on how many fulfillment centers they're moving it around to. And then it becomes available for sale. A customer purchases the item. Amazon will pick it, pack it, ship it to the customer, and the money that you earn from that minus the fees will go into an escrow account. So essentially the way it works on Amazon is you get paid every 2 weeks. So you're going to be on a 2-week cycle. So say you get paid on July 1st, your next payment will be like July 15th. Then your next payment will be like July 30th or whatever. So it's always on a 2-week cycle. As you're selling your items, the profits are going into what I'm calling is an escrow account. If you sign into your Amazon seller dashboard, it'll tell you how much money Amazon owes you. And that's always changing. The more items you sell, the more it's changing. And you just set up a bank account. That's a requirement. You're going to have to give Amazon a credit card, a bank account. You're going to have to sign your life away. You're going to have to send them a vial of blood. You're going to have to put a camera in your house and they're going to watch you sleep. I'm just kidding. But you're going to have to give them, your social, your credit card, your bank account, all that stuff. And once your item sells, then, then they'll just auto deposit the money into your bank account. Okay. So that's the way it's rocking and rolling. And, some people back in the day, they used to get daily payouts. I wish, but I'm on a 2-week cycle. I see you printing them from Reseller. How does that work? There's just a button on Reseller. Once you list all your items, it's just a button you push. You can watch it in the video, Lori, when you go through it, and it'll just bring up all the labels on your printer and you just print it. Say you're on a web page and you want to print, an article. You just go and print it. It's the same thing. The article's there. The labels are already there. You don't have to create the labels. You don't have to buy GS1s or whatever the hell that is. Like literally, that's their job. They provide it with you. It's just a matter of clicking a button. Lori also wants to know more about selling items on consignment from your friend at Restricted Inventory. I have people asking me to sell for them. Yeah, the thing about Restricted Inventory.com is, if your items are restricted and you don't want to sell it on eBay, just send it to him at restrictedinventory.com. He's been in business for like 4 or 5 years and he'll just split the profits with you. He's got a whole website, software and everything. But if you're not restricted, I would just start your own account and sell it. I don't love consignment just because like the refund and return rate, like people can get returns like 60 to 90 days later or so. And sometimes it's a little complicated to track it through like custom SKUs. I'm not sophisticated enough to be able to do that yet, but I know Avery knows how to do that. But it's a good service. Alejandro in the house saying, Steve, already in 5 months, made 12,000. How to scale more items like maybe groceries, already sold books, DVDs, and CDs. You could scale your business selling anything. You could scale your Amazon business selling books or board games or DVDs or groceries or electronics, household items, office supplies. The truth is, it doesn't matter what you're selling. What matters most is, can you find a reputable supplier or a reputable source in order to be able to buy low and sell high? You heard me correctly. You could sell anything. For me, I like to sell things that I enjoy. I like to sell things that I like. For me, I'm a little more risky, so I'm willing to invest in some riskier items that have higher returns. And for me, like, I like dealing with media items. I've always enjoyed it. I like, being able to have a good hard book in my hand. I love DVDs. I love board games. Like, these are items I enjoy. I found a way to source. So you can sell whatever you want. For me, I'm really focusing on eBay to Amazon. But, there's people who buy off of Trader Joe's. There's people who go to Costco's and BJ's. And, I have friends who, my good friend Miles, he does 200,000 a month, and he's making around 25K a month profit just selling like Nike and Lego. So I'd be less concerned with what it is you're selling and more concerned with finding a good source and a good supplier that you can buy at a really good price. It's Beauty saying, you are so patient. It's the coffee. I'm here drinking coffee, enjoying myself. I actually don't use tactical arbitrage. Tactical arbitrage is a very, very popular software for doing online arbitrage. I've never gotten into it because, again, I'm doing mostly eBay to Amazon flips. So I don't need that. We got KT Treasures in the house. Man, we missed this because working our business, but we will go back and watch. I appreciate that, KT Treasures. Go check out KT Treasures, everybody. All right, I'm looking for questions, guys. The comments on Instagram are moving so quick, so I apologize. It's kind of tough on Instagram. If you guys do want to tune in on YouTube, you can watch this in high def or also on Instagram as well, or on TikTok. Oh, that's a great question, Sabrina. I'm sorry I missed this question earlier. How many books do you find in one Goodwill, for example? I find about 8 to 10. Is this a good number or a low number? I don't know how to compare since I just started. There's no right or wrong answer, and I can't give you a specific number. Like, there's times I'll find 10 to 20, 30 books, and then there's times I'll find 0. Why? Because there's many factors. One, did they bring out new inventory? If they didn't bring out new inventory and there's a lot of competitors, you're not going to find much, especially if people have Bluetooth scanners. It's a lot more competitive. 2, am I being lazy or not? Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, a lot of times I go to thrift stores now and I'm just like screwing around. Like, I'm just kind of picking around, and like, I don't really feel like scanning through all the books because, again, I'm sourcing off of eBay and Amazon, and I could order pallets of books now. So sometimes I don't give it my all. You're not going to find much, right? Other times there could be other competitors there, right, who have already found the books. And in my area now, it's like I can't go into a thrift store without a competitor being there. But that's fine because I have capital and credit, and I've got a good creative mind to be able to find a lot of different ways to source. For anyone out there who's creative, right, man, who cares about the competition? There's so many ways to find books, but it just depends, and it depends in your area. In your area, they might be selling their books online. There may be a lot of competition or a little competition. You might be living near a university and be getting tons of textbooks. So there's just really no right or wrong answer. I would say the right answer is what's right for you. How much money per hour are you making? What is your time worth? If you're finding 8 to 10 books, but they're all $40, $50, $60 books on average, which is probably rare, and that brings out your hourly rate to, $70 an hour after listing and shipping and everything, and you break your numbers down, then that's worth it. But if you're finding 8 to 10 books that are only flipping for $2 to $3, and they all got like a 12 e-score or a million rank, and you're making $7 an hour, then it's really not worth it for you. So, that's why I keep saying you got to think outside the box, and you've got to, really break down what is your hourly rate. Is it worth it for you or not? And one question I always get from people is like, why are you always pushing books so hard and like thrift stores so hard, especially now when like I'm not even doing a ton of thrift stores and books as much as I used to be? It's because I know the best way to help you guys is to teach you the basics of how to sell on Amazon. Okay. Books are the easiest items to find. They're the cheapest items to be able to source. Again, it's a lot more competitive, but you can, if you're willing to think outside the box, you can find books at like literally a million different places. And books are easy to ship. They're cheap. They're inexpensive. They sell really quickly. And selling books teaches you the skills of selling on Amazon. It teaches you how to source, how to scan, how to analyze, how to manage your business, how to manage cash flow, how to ship items, how to condition, customer service, different things like that. And that's why I was saying before, like the best advice I'd give for a teenager and really for anybody is learn this skill of selling on Amazon. Don't give up so quick. Don't be so concerned about making profit. Don't start this business trying to turn a profit and go full time in a month, because you're going to be in for a world of hurt. You've got to be patient. And, you know, someone like my mom, who's 67, who does 3,000 to 5,000 a month in sales, 1 to 2K a month in profit. It's not huge numbers, but for her, she's 67, she's retired, and it's better than freaking going to Walmart. No offense to anyone who works at Walmart, and sitting there behind a register getting, you know, taking shit from customers and having a boss and whatnot. So, you know, you got to see what's best for you. So I'm going to put this on YouTube, rakeandprofit.com/workshop. Okay. That's my free workshop, guys. Again, there's no upsells. It's not trying to sell you anything. It's literally a free workshop that will teach you how to start a book business, how to sell on Amazon from step 1 to 100 for free. So definitely check that out. I'm always like, so many people are DMing me lately, like, how do I start? How do I start? Just go to the workshop, just go through it. It's 5 hours. It's 5 days. It's with my friend over my shoulder, 4K, high quality, bada bing, bada boom. The profits are coming soon. Yeah, like Chuck said, books and thrift stores are the easiest way to get started. I wouldn't say they're the most profitable. I wouldn't say like it's the best long-term business if you want to make like 5 to 10K a month profit going to thrift stores. Like, I feel like that's like a dying business now. It's just getting harder and harder and harder. But you could still make a full-time income with books, but you're not going to do it just going to thrift stores. Like the average person isn't. I'm not saying there aren't people who already do it, but every time I see a bookseller who's full-time with books, how do I say this politically correct? I forget I'm in the public eye right now. They don't look so healthy. They look very stressed. They're running around for 10 to 12 hours a day, driving across the state. Their car is like a huge mess. It's like their health is kind of declining. It's stressful. Like that was me before. I used to do that. I don't know. I want to make money using my brain. I don't want to have to be driving around all across the state all day long. Like in the beginning, it's fun, but after a while, it's just like, it's so much work. And, you know, after I almost got killed in a car accident last year, it's like, I don't want to be driving like that much on the road, because people are just nut jobs. Sean is asking, hey, Steve, when searching for DVDs to sell on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or Mercari, are you primarily looking for box sets? Or are you just looking everything up that falls under a certain cost? Yeah, for me, I love box sets. I love complete series, but I won't touch anything that's less than 10,000 rank. Now, how does that make sense? That sounds counterintuitive. 10,000 rank or lower is really fast selling. It is, but you got to realize a lot of those really fast selling box sets that are especially new over the last year or two, sub 10,000 rank, are faked and bootlegged up the yin yang. And there's a lot of people coming from whatever you could say across the globe, like creating these things and bringing them in. And it's like, if I see a box set that's I could buy for $20 on eBay and it's selling for 80 and it's got a 4,000 rank, like that's 100% fake. Like, how is somebody getting it that dirt cheap? So I don't mess with stuff like that. I do love box sets, but I don't get too greedy. What's the saying going? Like pigs get slaughtered or whatever. Like, I know it's kind of a messed up. I'm sorry for the vegans and vegetarians out there. I didn't mean any harm, right? But I used to be vegan. But it's like, you don't want to get cocky. You don't want to start like, because there's a lot of DVDs you can source that are just like ridiculous. And I don't buy from eBay sellers who have poor feedback. I don't buy from eBay sellers that are new. I don't buy from eBay sellers that are selling a ton of DVDs or just outrageously amazing deals, because it's like, how are you getting all these things? So a lot of times I'm dealing like my sweet spot. I will, to answer your question, because I'm going off on a tangent, I love box sets, but it's a lot of the older box sets. New, I like new. I will buy used as well. Older box sets, pretty much any DVD with a good ROI, but I stay away from stuff that's way too new and current and popular because it's just too risky. So hopefully that answers your question. I may or may not have answered it. Mark Reeves is saying, love this guy. You're awesome, brother. Thanks for sharing everything you do. Love you too, brother. Much love. Thanks so much. What tax software do you use? Does Amazon collect sales tax or do you have to? I believe Amazon collects sales tax now, right? There's a bunch of different rules. I set up my tax settings a while ago for my state. But I use QuickBooks. So I have two accountants. I have one in the Philippines that helps me with a lot of my day in and day out stuff. And then I have another company who helps me with like the sales tax and working like directly with my accountant and whatnot. For me, you know, I have multiple businesses across multiple companies. So that's why I need a few different accountants, but QuickBooks is really a great place to start. Jake says, I've started with around $250 for everything, printer, etc. And in 3 months, I got to 2,500 net profit, going to Goodwill only for books. Yeah, I mean, there's money to be made, guys. I mean, that's not like a ton of profit over 3 months, but that's amazing, man. You're in the top 5%, even like being able to turn a profit that quickly. You know, I have met people who were able to do a couple thousand, 3,000-4,000 a month in that time frame. But man, that's really good, man. Like, you've already built up an income that's making like $800 a month profit, which is fantastic. And you could build that up. You know, you really, really could. And I guess I'm curious where you're from, Jake. Let me know. Yeah, tax jar. Isn't it true that isn't Amazon collecting sales tax now? I'm pretty sure. Do you sell used video games? I've heard a lot of horror stories about it. What have you heard in terms of horror stories with video games? I do sell video games. I have sold some. I don't sell a ton. I've flipped quite a few new video games as of late, but I'm curious. What kind of comments are coming in right now on TikTok? The time is fulfilled and the kingdom of God is at hand. Repent ya and believe the gospel. I don't know what that has to do with selling on Amazon, but God bless you too. All right. Horror stories regarding the video games, mainly for lots of returns, people switching out for a better copy. Yeah, that can happen. You know, I have situations like that when I sell Lego. People will open it up, take out the pieces and send it back used, and you're just screwed. It's just part of doing business, but most people are good people. I don't sell VCR tapes anymore just because they sit forever and they don't really sell that well on Amazon. There are some VCR tapes, VHS tapes that are very popular. I actually had a girl from Australia on my channel and she was crushing it on eBay with them. But yeah, I don't know too much about them, to be honest with you. Library sales, very profitable. Library sales are very profitable. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more questions, guys, because I am. Oh, man, binoculars. So Avery and I, if you guys aren't following Romer the Romer, give him a follow. We used to live in Miami together, and we were on the 48th floor. And let's just say that we had a pair of binoculars in the heart of Miami in Brickell, and we saw some pretty crazy things. Okay. I'm not saying we were peeping Toms. Okay. I'm not saying that, but we'll let Romer tell those stories. Don't act like you guys wouldn't do it as well. What do you do with books that people give you that you can't sell? You can donate them to thrift stores, or just don't take them. Ave88 says, it seems like every profitable book to find requires approval from Amazon, which they say I'm approved, yet I still can't list it. Why? You have to go into Amazon Seller Central on your computer, go to add product, choose that ASIN, and then get approved. If you do it through the phone, it won't do it. For some reason, there's like an issue. Did it for Cake says, appreciate your content. Thanks for answering my questions. You got it. Drop shippers ask, when you buy books to list, do you just buy one book and list it? Then it's listed. Then that's it for one ASIN. A lot of times when I'm going to thrift stores and stuff, it's just a single unit. A lot of wholesalers will buy multiple quantities. From eBay to Amazon, I usually don't keep more than 1 to 2 in stock because the DVDs don't turn that fast. So usually it's just one-off ASINs. How often do you ship to Amazon, weekly or monthly? Right now I'm shipping like twice a week, and my goal, so like I said, I have a virtual team that tracks everything, how many shipments, how many items. Right now I'm shipping out between 200, no, that was over exaggerated, between 150 and 300 items per week. Like that's what I've been aiming to ship out. I have a bunch of stuff behind me that you guys can probably see. I'm getting ready for a shipment. Don't look at my balding spot, guys. There's a bunch of stuff. I'll show Instagram as well. We got a bunch of stuff behind me. I'm getting ready to ship. Don't worry, TikTok. I will not leave you guys out. Bunch of stuff back there, getting ready to ship. So usually, a couple times a week. I do DVDs, so I can ship, 40 to 50 items in a box. So that's only like 5 shipments a week, which is great. Congratulations to Anthony Grant. I love it. Anthony says, thanks for your videos. I started selling thrift books in March. 2,000 profit per month, Canadian version. Bada bing, bada boom. The profits are coming soon. That's awesome, Anthony. So are you only going to thrift stores? And what's your goals, Anthony, moving forward? Are you going to get into OA, wholesale, or are you going to just scale the books? I'd love to know. Lori says, thank you. I watched all YouTube and learned everything. I'm getting to work fast. I'm waiting on Amazon to let me in. Yeah. Well, good job. I appreciate you following, and, good job, putting together a plan and signing up for Amazon. I know it's tough to be patient and go through the process, but it's just, I don't know how to get through to some of these eBay sellers. I don't understand why so many eBay sellers, they refuse to sell on Amazon. It's like, they don't want to learn. And I'm not trying to shit on all eBay sellers, but have you guys noticed as well? Like, I got to ban some people. We got some guy flicking everybody off in the freaking, in the Instagram. I don't know why he's got to do that, man. All right. Bye-bye. But I don't know why, like, is it just me, or is it a common theme that like people on eBay don't want to learn new things? I feel like it's like, I'm eBay and I'm only eBay and I'm never going to do anything else. And it's like, I have a friend of mine who like is struggling on eBay, and I'm like, dude, go on Amazon. Like, I'll teach you how to flip from eBay to Amazon. Like, he's like one of my best friends. So like, dude, you'll get a free coaching program. And like, he just won't do it. And it's like, dude, you're doing $3,000 a month in sales. You're profiting like $1,000. Like, I can get you there in 3 months on Amazon and scale you like 10 times higher, man. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy how people get like stuck in their own little thing. Do you have a cheap course for teenagers? Yeah, I have a free course. Go to rakeandprofit.com/workshop. I could charge $500 for that, and it would be well worth it, but it's 100% free and there's no upsells. So go there and thank me later. I don't know how to get it out to people. Like, everyone's messaging me like these basic questions on Instagram, and I keep sending them to this free course. And I don't know if they're not going through it or they just want me to answer. I'm happy to answer. Don't hesitate sending me questions, but rakeandprofit.com/workshop. It's free, forever free, and you'll love it. Julie Carter. What up, Julie? I've been selling with an individual account for about 5 months. I still haven't reached 40 books. Be careful with the individual accounts, because, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I heard that if you have an individual account, you're not going to get the buy box as much as a pro account. Is that correct? Can somebody verify? I want to make sure I'm giving you guys good information, but I heard that in a podcast, and I heard that recently. I just wasn't 100% sure. If you have an individual free account versus someone who has a pro account that's 40 a month, they won't get the buy box, or they won't get it as much. And if you guys don't know what the buy box is, you ever see like an item on Amazon for sale? And how do you buy it? You click the buy it now button. So that buy it now button gets changed up amongst the different sellers, which is known as the buy box. And that is like the most important thing when it comes to Amazon. Like, When you go to Amazon, buy it now. Like there could be 10 sellers, but if you buy it now, how do you know who you buy it from? Like most people have no idea multiple people are selling it. They think they're buying from Amazon. No, third-party sellers like you and I are selling. So Amazon rotates the sellers in that buy box. Whoever clicks it and you buy from buy it now, it rotates amongst the sellers. And I heard that if you have a free individual account, you don't get the buy box. And it's like, I'm like, fudgical. I've been telling people just to get a free account because if they're not getting the buy box, they're going to be screwed. So I apologize if that's the case. But at the same time, it's like I don't feel bad for giving that advice because I know people are struggling and not everyone could afford $40 a month. So I'd rather just start for free, make a couple sales, then hopefully get them over 40 and then upgrade to the pro account. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Ashley Jean says, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Is the buy box applicable for new items? That's another question, guys. Someone help me out with that. Does the buy box only for new? I feel like it is because when I'm looking at Keepa, it's telling me the new. Let me Google that really quick because I'm actually curious. This is like something I should know, but I don't know. Does the Amazon buy box for new or used? That was a really weird way to phrase it. Your item must be new. Used items aren't eligible for the regular buy box, though they can be sold on a separate buy used box. See, that's what confuses me. What's a separate used buy box? What does a used buy box look like? Used buy box, Amazon. Googling it to see. Add to cart. I have no idea. What's the best way to make money online? Crypto? No, I'm just kidding. Filling out surveys. Being a bot on Instagram and spamming everyone's comments. Those are the best ways to make money online. What's up, Lisa? What's up, Sue? Maricela says, I have a buyer in Australia that wants to buy a $250 knife, but eBay won't allow the sale. Any way around that? Yeah, certain items you're not going to be able to sell to certain countries. So I think you're going to have to cancel the order. What's your tip to scale an eBay business? I think it's really the same thing. You guys, if you're trying to scale eBay or Amazon, it comes down to the same exact thing. You got to find more inventory, list more inventory, ship more inventory, and you've got to have a good source. On eBay, it's a bit more complicated because you have to have a lot more systems. Because if you're sourcing a lot more inventory, then you're going to have to list a lot more inventory, which takes 5 times longer than Amazon. Then you're going to have to store it all at your house and ship it all. So the biggest thing for scaling on eBay, like, of course, the core of scale with any business model is you've got to be able to have more products at a good value and be able to sell more items, right? Build your inventory. But on eBay, you've really got to have a lot of systems to be able to fulfill and to list and to ship and do all that stuff. So pretty much the same thing applies. Do you have an app that you use OA for books, or do you know the titles to look for? So right now I do a ton of manual sourcing. I do have some secret strategies that I use that I'm going to be dropping in the coaching program. I'm not going to give away every single secret that I've worked my ass off for live publicly. So I'm sorry, but eFlip is an interesting software, but just too many restricted books on there. So I don't really use that anymore. So I do a lot of manual sourcing now. And I do have some other softwares and tricks, again, that I'm going to teach in my coaching program for only 10 people, because I'm not going to give it all away, just to protect the market and to protect my business. But I would say building up a big list of items to reverse source is the best thing you can do. Probably Scout IQ is another great app to start with for books. Do you prefer to barcode straight onto the book or bag them first? I don't bag any of my books. I put it right over the book. Hey, retro guy, appreciate you. So I think that's going to be it, guys. We're at about the hour mark. I got to get rolling. I really appreciate you guys. If you have any more questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment down below. Again, if you want to learn how to sell books, how to sell on Amazon 100% free, go to my website, rakeandprofit.com/workshop. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, you can go to the link in the bio to check that out. Also, for anyone who is interested in my eBay to Amazon coaching program, I'm only taking on 10 people. It's probably going to start within 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to take everybody by the hand. We're going to do twice a week Zoom calls. You're going to get private coaching. You're going to get community, all my scripts, operating procedures. I'm going to tell you the different items that I source. I'm doing it with my partner, Seth, who's doing over $50,000 a month. We're still finishing up the sales page. And once I launch it, if you guys are following me on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, I'm going to put out a couple posts, but it's probably going to sell out like that. If you do want to lock in your spot, and only 10, I'm not saying that like literally we can only take on 10 because it's going to be a group. It's going to be a group thing. So we're all going to come on Zoom together and learn together and walk you through the process. If you want to learn all my tricks, all my secrets, everything we're doing behind the scenes that I'm not sharing publicly, it's probably going to be somewhere around $1,000, maybe 800. We haven't figured that out yet. It's 4 weeks. It's a very good value. Literally, if you're brand new to Amazon, don't message me because it's not for you. Go through the free workshop. If you don't know the basics of selling, it's not for you. Go to Amazon Seller Central, watch a bunch of free YouTube videos. If you have less than like $1,000 after the program, don't sign up. Like, you need capital. I would recommend at least a couple $1,000s afterwards. I would say 3,000 to 5,000 really be good minimum to really scale. And we're going to help 10 people get to 10 to 20K a month in sales fairly quickly. And we're going to share you everything that we're doing. So a lot of this stuff isn't public. Again, I'm not trying to make guys feel bad who, are new and whatnot, but don't do this if you're new. eBay to Amazon's a bit more advanced. Start with thrift stores, start with the free workshop, rakeandprofit.com/workshop. But if you want to be one of the first people to get in before we launch it over the next couple of days, send me a DM on Instagram and title it eBay to Amazon. Okay. Make sure you're qualified. Make sure you're already selling. We're going to have people sign NDAs and show proof, because the goal is to really work closely with 10 people and get them a freaking shit ton of results and, just be able to help out some people. So definitely hit me up if you're interested, and I'll be checking my DMs shortly, and I'll send you a voice message and we could talk about that then. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Oh, we got checkmate flips in the comments. Appreciate you. Yes, online arbitrage is what we do. Thanks, guys, so much on YouTube. Yes, Mama Profit, she's making it happen. Peter's trying to hit Mama Profit status. Heck yeah. My return rate for DVDs is less than 5%. It's so low. So that's one of the things I like, and the margins are really high. So in our coaching program, I forgot to tell you, we're not only teaching DVDs, we're teaching books, DVDs, electronics, video games, household items, office supplies. Because remember, my partner Seth, Checkmate Flips, he's doing over 50K a month with a lot of items that I'm not doing. So we're gonna tag team. That's gonna sound bad. We're gonna tag team the 10 people who join in and hit them over the head with everything we know. So with that being said, guys, much love. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.